Sunny skies grace a track perched on the bay of southwestern Florida, where a season starts anew at a street course for the very first time. It's a beautiful stage where today we welcome you to the season opener of the Season 16 Velocity Online Racing IndyCar Series and the first ever race of the year, the BooklyDoo Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. First ever time we're starting the season on a street course. Green flag in the BooklyDoo Grand Prix of St. Petersburg to turn one. Adam Williams has the run, 3 wide for the lead. Antenna to the outside, Bittman trying to make a charge, and as they carry through the narrow turns 2, 3, then 4, it's the rookie in front.
Still smooth as we head our way through our opening turns, but there's trouble farther in the back of the pack. I saw half a front wing flying. Not sure who that was. It may have potentially been Ench. On seeing him drop down the running order there, currently running last of the pack, shotgun of the field down there in 18th. That wasn't even heading off into turn number 1. That was before they grabbed the green flag there. Very messy start in the back of the pack.
And already you can tell the different type of tire sets everyone uses. Now, the rule is you have to use the primary tires at least once in this race. As inside goes Bittman, attacking in turn 1, takes over third for Motor Nefting. There is that blue Lall IR18 for Polak, so carries on. That's around turn 6, and going into turn 7. Oh, the car just straight line into the outside wall. Again, there are no safer barriers, but even then, it's a hard piece of contact for Polak.
Yeah, trying to figure out exactly what happened here. Up on the curb, trying to get out of harm's way. I think there may have been some sort of hardware failure there. It did not look like that steering was cooperating at all.
Replicated here on iRacing to try and be one of the most difficult cars to drive. Huge inside dive, turn 13. That's Toby Deck. Of course, that was Rotor Nefting giving a bit of space there in turn number 1, but Bittman able to get on by, and then Toby Deck, of course, making the move in the final corner on Aman Lall. That is, of course, one of the few passing opportunities. Oh, in trouble for Callum Ford. Driver ended up 2 laps down now.
One point I do want to raise as we saw those replays, F-Tink hasn't gone off to the best of starts in this race, as now feeling some pressure right now in the battle for a 5th. That's Deck looking for it around the outside. F-Tink, one of those drivers starting off on the harder white sidewall tires, so keep an eye on that as we go throughout this race, trying to hold off the pressure on that harder rubber.
As we take a look at another incident there, entering turn... Well, that was right there, looking to the inside again. Wonderful passing from the outside. Toby Deck making sure he can put all the heat on Rotor Nefting and inviting a few others in the mix. Aman Lall, Alexander Weitzel, the rookie driver back in the 5 machine, running 7th.
Having to be on some dirtier sections of the racetrack. I wonder if that's hurting, as we have a now battle right behind that. Lall and Weitzel squabbling up.
And going into the deep sending turn number 4. But once again, Julian Alten is one of those few runners at the front of this field on the primary walled Firestone Firehawk, so we should expect that pace to turn around for the driver of the 11. There was the send of the inside. Oh, almost hitting the outside wall. Coming into 11 and 12, a daring move into turn 10.
You got to pick and choose your fights when it comes to this track, as that's Aman Lall losing it big time, heading down to turn number 4 and 5. Was talking about that battling, potentially getting a little bit too intense. I was waiting for something to snap. Unfortunately, that was the snap.
And he saw the run coming from back there, way off in the distance off turn number 3. Matthias Strauss also with a similar problem, and thankfully lots of runoff there in turn number 4. So if you find yourself locking up the brakes, you could just scurry off into the sunset and then make that arc around. Alexander Weitzel now making the move, so he's officially settled into position. Oh, he had trouble though as well. The 5 car ends up into the outside barriers off turn 10, so right after putting the pressure on the defending winner of this race for so long, the 5 car is out early. Dive in the inside, turn 4. Vinci to the bottom. Vinci has the spot and makes it up to 7th. The one rare mistake for Adam Williams, I was about to mention Dylan Bittman has been catching him on lap time, but not by much. And it's the first scare for the rookie who sat on the pole for this Grand Prix.
And we take a look at heading his way off through the final turn. You can see it just trying to swap ends very quickly. The handling on this car for Williams has been falling away for a while. I'll be honest, guys, and say that I wasn't too sure about him using the push to pass to try and maintain that gap. That feels like a stopgap solution at best. You gotta shadow that call right now. Let's keep an eye on it. Yeah, again, having some big sideways snaps. Yeah, this is a logical call. You gotta come down pit lane. He's skating around the track like a declawed cat climbing up an igloo. I can see a car with a broken front wing right up in front. Yes, there
That's Adam Williams.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so it's disaster for Williams, who's been oh so strong throughout this race. It ends in disaster through turn number 10, and just like that, two of the strongest drivers throughout this race get wiped out in one foul swoop. It's again turn number 10, the turn that's already been a massive choke point throughout this race.
Who was extremely aggressive on the opening stint and made up some track position on the alternate set, makes a mistake in turn 10, but this time doesn't get into the safer barriers, and the tire walls there, ends up just scathing around. It's a very close call. Rotor Nefting's going to take second. Aman Lall back in third. That battle will continue to shape up. Lall continues to add on the heat to his teammate. Running for second. Long run down runway 24, the Albert Whitted Airport. And in turn 1, Aman Lall makes the move for second. He was telling some drivers, hey, go right, go right, go right. Trying to warn the drivers to get around. That was actually Toby Deck that was attempting to make his way through. Oh, contact between the two.
May get the opportunity to stretch his legs just a bit as we follow Watson on some fresher rubber. It's a harder rubber, but it's fresh tires. And in a race like this, it doesn't really matter what color. Oh no, big wall contact there as he headed his way through turn number 10. Just skated a little bit. Bad understeer as the track tightens up through there. Gotta wonder how that machine is feeling from Watson. That was dead on the wheel.
And the race leaders have come in for what will be the final time in this race. Rotor Neftink has stayed out alongside Toby Deck. Altena trying to beat Lall, but Lall gets him to the line. Aman Lall in the 13. What a pit stop. Cranking in 7.8 seconds. And Altena slides off of turn 3 into the outside wall.
Altena's night in the Florida sun ends right there. And here it was, a swaparoo as they came out of pit lane. And here he goes, trying to get through on the softer tires. Just lost it on entry. A big sideways snap there. Very unnatural. I think that car hit a bad bump and just swapped ends. Spinning around like a top, hits the wall, and just like that, what could have been a race win all comes to naught. Now, though, as the speeds begin to build in the back half of this racetrack, this could be where a move gets done. Doesn't go for it into turn number 10, but that's Van Gastel going off the track right behind a huge lockup. I believe he kept it out of the wall, but only just, no, he did hit the wall. Look at that front wing missing. The front nose cone still intact, but unfortunately, the tail end of this fight, thought the drama was going to go on farther up the road. Unfortunately, Van Gastel gonna steal the show in all the wrong ways, goes out of that fight in a cloud of smoke.
It's one more mistakeless approach for the driver of the 13. He knows the gap that he has. And Aman Lall for the final time through 11, 12, 13, and 14. It'll be a season opening victory and a defending race victory for Aman Lall. Takes the season opener of the season 16 VOR IndyCar Series. Aman Lall wins the BooklyDoo Grand Prix of St. Pete. And his first win of season 16. Takes the W over Rotor Neftink. It is an Altena Autosport 1-2 finish, the first since that late January race in 2026 at Road America. Toby Deck ends up capping off the top 3, the only Honda in the top 5, not named James Watson, and is the final driver on the lead lap. John Christensen closes his Chevrolet into the top 4 with Watson there in the top 5. Sebastian Kinder, his teammate, was chasing him down for a while, but couldn't get to him. Finishes in P6. Pim Van Gastel did get some wing damage at the end, but with all the time he had to spare between himself and Brian Fiolas, he still locked up the top 7. Fiolas back in 8th, Andres Vince back in 9th, and Luke Reed in the 8 rounds out today's top 10.